Oh, there she is. She is Uki Yamazoi. Date of birth 2001, so that makes her four. Actually, what's the year for this game? I think it's 2015, right? If I'm not mistaken. So it would make her like 14, right? Something like that. Around that age, I guess, maybe. Okay. Does it show actually? Does it show on the save? Like what date it is? I guess not. It shows the well, let's check, I guess. It shows the current date. It doesn't show like the in-game date, I guess. Oh, anyway. Those are the brain tests, I guess. Scanning her brain. What's it called? MRI, I guess, yeah? MRI scans. Let's see, can I just I don't know what this means. It's rank A apparently, confidential. And look at the doctor's scribbles, the classic doctor thing where they make notes they can never read for some reason. Attending doctor, Norose. Norose. Is that... What's her father's name again? I don't remember. Is that her father? Or is it someone else? I don't remember. It'd be quite a twist. It was our dad. Our card. Okay, Yamazoi. I don't know why the blood type matters. Well, I guess it matters. Blood type does matter when you're like transferring blood to another person. It has to be compatible. Anyway. Well, that was the girl we've been following.
この子ももともと実験に使われた被験者だったようだな。
Security is pretty lax, by the way, if she's just, you know, part of the victims of the human experiments, but also she's just walking around normally. You know? They just don't care, I guess. This shattering revelation was presented to us as a mere matter of fact, as if it was the most ordinary thing imaginable. Sarika covered her mouth with her hand and her eyes went wide. Then she has suffered the same fate as Minami Sawa Senri.
幸い、彼女は最後まで正気を失うことなく実験に耐え、生き残った。今はこのフロアで収容者たちの世話をする仕事を与えられているらしい。
Okay, so that makes sense. She's just the caretaker. Alright.
収容者たちの世話
I was wondering, you know, there has to be at least some people have taken care of these people. Or some employees, I guess, taking care of these people. These patients. I thought she was a criminal who stole my smartphone and threatened me. And what's more, I thought that she was either connected with the killer or maybe that she was the killer herself. But now I wasn't sure.
いや、ダメだ。見かけや生い立ちに騙されちゃダメだ。
Apparently, we're just really scared of little girls. I don't know. I mean, maybe it really is. You know, you never know in in an anime whether or not a little girl could actually be a super psycho murderer. But usually,
僕のスマホを拾えたのは彼女だけなんだ。
you would think.
それに、ここでの実験の被験者ということは、何らかのその能力者の可能性だってある。
Oh yeah, she might have some kind of power. I don't know. Normally, I mean, obviously, yeah. Normally, you would think like a little girl, they wouldn't have like the capacity to make such an elaborate, murder spree. She wouldn't be a serial killer, would she? But then again, who knows? Psychic powers. It could be. Well, I don't know. It might turn out she's like a 5,000-year-old dragon loli, that kind of thing, where she's actually 1,000,000 years old. Whatever.
解約したはずのスマホから電話してくれなんてゲートはそういう能力でもない限り不可能じゃないか。
As my mind raced, Kurosato was checking out every bit of data on the machine. But
実験の結果、ディソードの発現は全被験者の 0.01% に満たず失敗と断定。別の技術を模索すべきと結論。
Yes, D-sword. I think that's a Chaos Head term. I don't know. We'll see if it's explained in this actual visual novel. Because maybe there is like certain things that need to be explained in Chaos Head in order for Chaos Child to make sense. But we'll see. D sword though. That's a funny. That's a funny term. D sword. Kurosato sounded uncharacteristically ticked off as she closed all the folders and turned off the PC.
Disorder?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Takaru, asks her, like, what's a D-sword, by the way? What's a D-sword? That strange word snapped me out of my reverie. It seemed that was what she was looking for. Or that was what she was looking for. I looked at her, hoping for some kind of answer, but she just glared back at me with terrifying eyes. Okay, so I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if they're ever gonna explain what a D-sword is. Even I don't really know, Again, I watched a little bit of Chaos Head anime, but I dropped it halfway through, so I don't really know the whole story either. We'll see if Takaru learns as well, I guess.
でも僕たちの目的がまだ。
お前たちは計画がずさんすぎる。この施設内の構造すら知らないのだろう。
She was right, I snuck in here as a child, a chaos child maybe, but that was all. I didn't remember the details.
そんなことでは探したところで無駄だ。
She was right, damn it, but there must be some way. I looked around the room and saw the rows of monitors. If they were on, they could at least tell us what was going on around the facility. Maybe they could tell us where Yamazoi Uki was.
どうした宮代？このモニターの電源がないか探してるんだよ。こいつが使えれば、あるいは。
無駄だ。そもそも、その監視システム自体動いているのかも。
Old computer noises. Suddenly, the room was bathed in pale light. All the monitors on the wall turned on. All we could do was gasp. What we thought were security cameras were showing. Wow, okay. Hundreds of sumo stickers. Ah, so... Well, if you remember the video of the revolving dead, the one that wasn't taken by Takaru was from a perspective that was across the street that you would think would be coming from a sumo sticker. And I was thinking, how would that be possible? Maybe this is the origin, Again, they have like weird, I don't know, like camera devices inside the actual sumo stickers, and this is where you could see them, maybe? Kind of hard to tell though, because the overlay is blocking all the monitors. Can't see. I almost screamed, I was so surprised. Inside the monitors on the wall was face after sumo sticker face, all looking at me. Or maybe it's just sumo stickers? I don't know, I can't tell. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I was just jumping to conclusions, but like, it's kind of hard to tell though, it's all blurry. I don't know what it is. What was this? What was going on? Oh. Another delusion? We don't get a choice.
ここは。
おいおい、勝手に寝るんじゃない。
Are we back to getting our brain, lobotomized or something? Kurosato. Huh? I was back in the chair. And with our 3-monitor setup, very, if it wasn't the whole torture thing, this would be kind of cozy, just have like a monitor setup, you can like watch some anime here, watch like 3 animes at the same time, amazing. Was this a dream? Which was the dream? Was I dreaming of being in this chair, or had I been dreaming of being in the monitoring room? That's also kind of an interesting thing to think about. I think it's all, it reminds me of another visual novel, but the fact that reality and fiction are blending in together, you don't know which is real, that's kind of a cool theme to like explore as well. My head felt really cold. Oh, that's right. They'd opened my skull, yes. Very casually, just super cash.
お前はなかなかいい脳みそをしているな。
I guess she has a brain fetish. Did I?
ピンク色でシワが多くて、とても美味しそうだ。
Num num num, eat the brain.
それは喜んでいいんですか？
もちろんだ。さて、それじゃあそろそろいただくとするか。
Kurosato grinned with glee and took something metallic out of her pocket. A spoon?
人間の脳はこうして生きたまま食べるのがうまいんだ。
I don't know if that's true, Mio. Huh, who knew?
では、失礼して。
Okay, this is a weird fetish, but alright. Getting your brain eaten by a waifu. Very specific fetish. Slurp. Yes, mouth noises. She was eating it. Kurosato was eating my brain.
ダメだ、止まらない。
You know, as far as I know, I mean, I might be wrong, but from the limited amount of knowledge about neuroscience that I know, I believe your brain doesn't really have like pain receptors, so it would be a very weird feeling of someone eating your brain. You wouldn't feel anything, but you would feel like sometimes, I guess, certain nerves being damaged in your brain. So like, for example, you could like randomly go blind depending on where your brain gets damaged, I guess. Or sometimes you would lose memories, or, you know, just weird things would happen. Because I think that there is like a brain experiment done in real life where someone like basically poked someone's brain while they were awake, you know, and for example, they would smell like burning toast or whatever, you know? It would be very weird.
食べられるってこんなに気持ちがいいんだ。
Okay, I never thought it would feel so good when someone ate my brain. Ah, yes. Of course. Slurp.
もっともっと食べて。僕は食べて。
Delicious. You know, from a certain perspective, that was a positive delusion. Anyway. Again, had another weird delusion. I quickly shook my head and slapped my cheeks and snapped myself out of it.
なんかやだ。
気色悪い。
Sarika and Ito looked unhappy. It was because of the sumo stickers displayed on the monitors. I can't tell. Is it just some... I mean, it's all blurry, so I can't tell. See, it's just blurry here. I thought it was, like, from the perspective of the sumo stickers, not the sumo stickers themselves, but I don't know. I look at the monitors once more, trying my best to avoid the sumo stickers. Can I look at the... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Whoops. There's a backspace. I'll look at this one. No, this one I can't tell either. Oh.
あれはこの病院の中じゃない。
Some of the monitors were showing the inside of the hospital, but some were looking somewhere else. Street corners in Shibuya, signs, under bridges, alleyways, overpasses, train station staircases, store walls. And then I realized, all of the monitors with sumo stickers.
病院の外の監視カメラだけじゃないか。
Security cameras outside the hospital, okay. Some of them I knew.
あそこは
Okay, so it's not... Okay, as far as I know, it seems like it's not from the perspective of the sumo sticker. So it makes me wonder how did that video appear from Revolving Dead, but anyway, I guess that's another thing. That's not related right now. What is related, I guess, is that every security camera outside the hospital is eerily looking at a sumo sticker for some reason. That was the spot where Kurusu had been attacked. Of course, there are sumo stickers there.
なるほどな。探していたということか。
探していた。
さっきのファイルに書いてあっただろう。特殊な事象変異を引き起こす人間は11番目のこの画像に反応を示すと。
Oh, okay. So that's why they've been putting sumo stickers. They wanted to see who is reacting to them. You know, it's like it's less so, you know, sumo stickers, more so the 11th Rorschach test on like a I was gonna say worldwide scales, not worldwide scales. It's within Shibuya, I guess. They're trying to do like a big experiment and seeing who's reacting to these stickers, you know, and finding out something from it, I guess. Kunosato pointed to a corner of one of the monitors. I quickly looked away before I got a direct look at the sumo sticker. In other words, whoever was using this place put up the 11th Rorschach image all over Shibuya and used these cameras to find people who reacted to it. And then they took them here and did those horrible experiments, or I don't know if they're still doing it, but maybe they've been doing it before the earthquake? But I remember the security cameras were only put in place after the earthquake, you know, when everything was rebuilt, right? So... I remember what I seen happen to Minamisawa Senri, and I felt like I was gonna throw up again. And then Kunosato made a sharp noise. She put her hand on one of the monitors to brush away the dust, then stared at it. It showed something moving around the dark room. There was no sumo sticker there. It wasn't an image of Shibuya or the hospital above, so it was probably showing one of the rooms down here. It was definitely the girl. On the screen, she was saying something to an old person lying on the bed, gently wrapping belts around their arms and legs.
急げ。もうじき警備が回ってくる時間だ。
That girl was my only clue as to where my smartphone was. I really want my phone, I guess. Which meant that we had to find the room on the monitor. Misato suddenly told me that she knew where it was. She'd been so uncooperative so far, so I had no idea why she suddenly decided to help. But when she saw the girl, she suddenly said that she'd go with us. Okay, so maybe she knows who the girl is, or... Of course, I knew her well enough by now. She wasn't helping us. She's simply taken interest in that girl. At least that's how I saw it. As we moved down the dim hallway, the temperature dropped and the humidity went up.
ここだ。
She stopped in front of a door with strange words on the plate. Confinement Room 3. Kunosato opened the door a little, taking care to make as little noise as possible. I peeked inside. And there I saw a world that I'd only ever seen in movies. I see curtains, I see beds. There were rows of beds in the room. Slightly a little bit dirty, the floor there, because it's kind of old, I guess. And there were what appeared to be prisoners lying on them. And they had different ages and sexes. Some were old and some seemed young, and one of them I recognized. It was the old lady the girl had been walking with before. Are you counting pi? Is that what it is, or is it just some random numbers? Some were screaming, some were counting numbers endlessly. One was a girl who was endlessly chewing her food. It seemed unreal. I remember the woman with the baby carriage I passed before and felt cold sweat forming on my palms.
強度の OCST。 視床下部損傷による過食およびチューイング、大脳半球損傷による反則空間無視障害、全員脳をいじられてる。
Okay, well, let me see actually. Severe OCSD, what does that mean? Okay. Obsessive compulsive spectrum disorders, like OCD. Okay, but I guess in a much more severe way, I guess. It's not like, you know, OCD as in like, oh, I wish my pens were blue instead of red or whatever. It's much more severe, obviously. Okay, chewing. Endlessly chewing one's food rather than chewing it and swallowing, just never swallowing it. Then how are they gonna get their nutrients, you know? And hemispatial neglect. An inability of the person to recognize stimuli that occur on either their left or right side, caused by some form of damage to the brain. For example, draw a picture of an analog clock, they're able to draw half of the numbers. This is because while their eyes can see an entire clock, the brain is only able to recognize half of it. Yeah, I think I remember taking a neuroscience course, actually. You know, a beginner's course, but I think I've heard about this before. Again, you know, because again, certain areas of your brain control certain things, and, you know, sometimes, for example, your eyes could be working, but you can't interpret what you're seeing, right? That's interesting. Yeah, cerebral hemisphere, all of them have brain damage, basically. And I guess, well, I don't know. We were kind of sneaking in the middle of the night, so maybe there's more people during the day. But it seems like if it's just one girl taking care of everyone, that's kind of hard, isn't it? It's a lot for a little girl. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, why can't you just murder them? I mean, assuming I'm a, you know, super evil organization who's like super evil, I could just, you know, just kill them and just put their bodies in the middle of the ocean. But maybe not. They're just being kept here, I guess. For a moment, the tone of her voice changed. I felt like there was a pale flame burning somewhere deep within her voice. It was a pale flame of rage, which seemed cold at first glance but was in fact incredibly hot. Sarika tugged at my sleeve and whispered. She pointed at the bed in the back with her other hand. I could see something moving past what looked like a curtain. Yes, of course.
ごめんなさい。ちょっと窮屈だけど我慢してください。起きたらまたお散歩に行きましょうね。はい、今行きます。待っててください。
Someone appeared from within the curtain. Oh. What's up? I mean, as far as we know her, like, outside of the Delusions, she seems like a very pitiful character, actually. She's, like, taking care of everyone. She's, like, a good person, but I don't know. All she's doing is just taking care of everyone. The girl in the file, Yamazoi Yuki, didn't seem to notice us. She moved around from one patient to another, doing her best to take care of them.
よかった。彼女はまだちゃんと正気を保ってるようだ。
She's so sane, okay. She might go crazy taking care of everyone? Is that the plan for this, like, evil organization? Just make everyone go insane? I mean, I imagine maybe it's because, I don't know, but then, like, why bother keeping them here if they're not gonna kill them anyway? Because I imagine, you know, if they don't take care of them, they're just all gonna starve to death. But still keeping the place alive? I don't know. Well, I could hear Kanasato whisper.
彼女からどうやってスマホを返してもらえばいいでしょう。説得とかしても聞いてくれるかどうか。むしろ警報でも鳴らされたら。
私はあの子をここから連れ出す。スマホの話なんて言うのはその後でいくらでも聞け。
Yes, we're gonna kidnap a lowly, alright. That's the plan. It took me a moment to figure out what she was saying. But by the time that it did, she flung open the door to the room and leapt inside. Yamazoi Uki's eyes went wide at the sudden intruder. Kunosato grabbed her hand. All the patients started to scream, afraid of the sudden commotion. Yamazori looked around the room and tried her best to calm the people there, even as Kunosato held onto her arm. The girl named Yamazoi Uki went pale and tried to free herself from Kunosato's grip. She was completely in a panic. Kunosato must have decided there was nothing to be gained by talking, because she quickly moved around behind her and put her arm in the girl's carotid artery. Or carotid? How you say that? Carotid? Carotid artery. Well, I guess her solution really is just violence. Then she applied a very light pressure. You're literally kidnapping a little girl. Though I guess the idea is because, I don't know the circumstances, maybe we'll learn later, but like, she's kind of been forced, into like a caretaker role, and if she wasn't there taking care of all these, unfortunate victims, then they might have been disposed of anyway. She might be the only person left, trying to like save these people, or let them live a life, but, if we forcefully take away, take her away from this place, that might be a bad thing for her, but I don't know. Well, Yamazoi Oki moaned for just an instant, and then she slumped backward into Kunosato's arms. She seemed to have passed out. I guess she mentioned security. Again, I don't know. Is she the only caretaker, or there are other people who know about this place? I guess, but I don't know if they have other caretakers. Is the thing. You don't see anyone else. She put the unconscious girl on her back and then ran outside the room without bothering to wait for us. I was stunned at her speed, but there's no time for hesitating. I motioned to Sarika, and Ito ran out into the hallway. Well, I guess they're gonna have to hire a new caretaker. I wonder who they're gonna hire. Who's gonna put the resume for this employment. We followed after Kunosato as fast as we could. Just like she said, if we got lost here, we'd be caught for sure, and who knew what would happen to us then? They're very sad. We're stealing their loli. I didn't know who was doing these experiments or why, but their victims were suffering horrible fates. As I ran, it felt as if their screams of rage were following me. We followed Konosato as fast as we could, and then made it outside the hospital via a different route than before. Konosato was sweating like a racehorse, and her breathing was heavy, but she never let her guard down for a second. Instead, she seemed to be looking around intently. We were at the back of the hospital. This seemed like the exit where they moved corpses from the morgue to the hearse. For that reason, there was a fence surrounding us that kept us hidden. Konosato had evidently taken this fence into account in her escape plans from the start.
これからどうするんですか?
I was too out of breath to speak, so Serica spoke for me.
地下施設はもう大騒ぎになってるはずだ。ここも間もなく見つかる。死にたくなければ足を動かせ。行くぞ。
We were almost at the rear gate to the hospital. She started to run toward it. We followed her with the last of our strength. Run away! There was a guard station there, but inside there were only 2 men, asleep, heads pointed at the ceiling.
それほど長い効き目の薬は使ってない。急がないと目を覚ます。
Well, she even took care of the guards. I frantically made my way through the guard station and finally got past the hospital's outer walls. We ran a little longer and found a van parked in a secluded spot. Shinjo?
何よ、みおちゃん。
Oh.
ずいぶん賑やかじゃない？
It's a lady that we were interacting with before. Is it Momose, right? Is that her name? A broad-shouldered woman looked up at us from the driver's seat. It was hard to tell how old she was. Her attitude and bearing made her look like an older person, but the mischievous grin on her face made her seem younger.
で、必要なことはつかめた？
Well, you know, obviously all adults in anime have like smaller eyes, so obviously I guess they're just older because of that.
ええ。あれだけの犠牲者を出しながら、例の実験では結局理論を完成させることができなかったようです。
そう。
Actually, can I read that again? Failed to complete the theory. Yeah, what's that mean? I don't know what that means. Oh well. Complete the theory.
理想度の発言にも確実性はなく、ギガロマニアックス実験は失敗だったと。
まあ、予想した通りよね。
Gigalomaniac.
ギガロだって
Gigolo? No, Gigolo. And what was a D sword? Didn't she say something about that in the monitoring room?
ただ、重要な情報源を見つけました。
Kunasato opened the rear door and laid Yamazoi Uki in the back seat. I guess we just, safely store our lowly in the back of a van.
その子が？
多分、実験の生き残りかと。保護。
え、それは。まあいいわ。しばらくうちで預かっとく。
頼みます。
Kunasato hadn't even dropped her attitude for Detective Shinjo, but now she was being polite. Guess who was this woman? Probably very influential.
で、そっちの子たちはお友達じゃないわよね。
こっちは使えるかどうか、後ほど判断します。私の家まで送っていただければ。
She seemed to be referring to us, but what did she mean by good? She was as arrogant as ever, and like usual, she was pissing me off.
了解。とにかくみんな乗りなさい。早く。
Her voice got a little sharper as she pointed to the middle seat in the back of the van. We could hear what sounded like a lot of yelling from the direction of the hospital. We quickly jumped inside and closed the door. Kanasato got in front front passenger seat, and the van started quietly and headed off into the night. And we successfully escaped with a little girl. And I guess some information about what's going on in the basement of that hospital.
入れ。
I mean, I guess the plan is, I don't know, maybe like expose this? I mean, well, I guess that's kind of the theme, isn't it? Because we're like, the newspaper club and everything. We're gonna get these news, we're gonna get the news out there and expose it and everything, and it's gonna be like a public uproar, hopefully, and try to save those people, maybe. Or we just all get assassinated by, secret government conspiracy people. I don't know. Can also be a thing.
何をぼさっとしている。さっさとしろ。
Assuming that it's like, I don't know, I always say government. I mean, when you think conspiracies, wacky, out there, fictional conspiracies, you think government, but it could also just be a private corporation. They did mention Koshin. Are they just own its own like private institution? It could also be, well, if you think conspiracies, it could also be both, a corporation and government working together to do something.
お邪魔します。
The room is kind of small and dirty. And is that a bra? She has quite the setup, though.
人の家の中をじろじろ無遠慮に見るものじゃない。
She basically has a streamer setup. I can't look at behind her anymore, but she has the mic and everything. Can't believe she's a Twitch streamer.
そうだ。何か問題でもあるのか?
But of course, well, we know what she really is. She's Kay, she always runs those podcasts.
いや、だって
The outside wasn't much better, but looking inside, it was hard to believe that there were still apartments this dumpy in Shibuya. Don't insult her. Look, some people can't afford an entire RV, okay? Eesh. Yeah, there's the thing holding the mic. I have a similar thing actually. I have a similar setup. I guess that's the what's that called again? I have it as well. I don't remember what it's called. It's so the microphone doesn't pick up vibrations or whatever. I forgot what it's called. Anyway. She has no pop filter though, but I guess there's techniques to not use pop filters so that it doesn't make sounds in your microphone when you talk into it. I guess that's a mixer of some sort. There's the audio interface, I guess. It reminds me of the one that everyone uses. What's it called? The Scarlett, I guess. Focusrite Scarlett. I have a different one, but that tends to be the one that Twitch streamers use as well, I guess. Anyway, it really is just a Twitch streamer setup. The same was true of everything else in the room. I wonder what those bottles are for. Anyway, everything in the apartment was the cheapest kind you could buy. The only thing that was worth anything was the computer.
Huh? どうした?宮下。
I pushed Ito out of the way and ran over to the computer. The monitor was still on, and the page there was one I'd seen many times. Shibuya News. And it wasn't the display version of the page that we've seen so many times. The page was in the process of being edited. Okay, so this is where we learn that she's Kay, I guess, and that we're her biggest fan. So that was it. I thought I heard her voice somewhere before. Her voice was just too different from the gentle Kay that we're used to hearing. But that voice was without a doubt Kay's. Ito was pretty excited too, it seemed. Of course he was. Kay was someone we both admired. And she also, I guess, likes to choke people, as it turns out. She was the ultimate right-sider. Amazing. Since even I admitted it, she had to be the top of her class. I never thought I'd be able to meet her like this, though. But I can't say I never imagined Kay having a weird personality like this. Kunasato, the girl who had been insulting us the whole evening, was the same person as the gentle Kay that we knew from Shibuya News. Well, in a way, she has a... I don't know if I mentioned before, she has a very similar personality to Takuro, actually, Always caring about who's right and who's wrong and everything, and always... mostly just being selfish, right? Because, she just worries about being right, and that's also Takuro's personality as well, when he's not interacting with, a stranger, I guess. So it's as if Kunosato is basically Takuro, except without the whole social anxiety thing, basically. Which was the real one, I didn't know. And why had Kay brought us to her room? I thought I remembered her saying she decided she could use us later. Maybe to clean up her room? I don't know. There's a negative delusion again. Well, alright. We have been having so much negative delusion. We're so negative these days, so pessimistic. I have a positive delusion, why not? I haven't had that for a while. Let's think positive. Let's be optimistic. We finally met our, our favorite internet celebrity. Let's get like an autograph or something. Well, I looked over and saw something strange in the corner of the room. Oh, it's a D sword, maybe. It's a cosplay sword. The best way to describe it would be to call it a sword. But I wasn't sure if most people who saw it would think that. Its design was complicated and frankly unrealistic. For some reason, looking at it made me feel uneasy. It made me feel really bad, actually. What was that? If someone told me it was for cosplay, I'd probably believe them. I mean, yeah, pretty much. If nothing else, it didn't match the image I had of the person in front of me. Not the Kei I knew from Shibuya News, or the Kunasato who'd been swearing at me the whole night. Did she maybe have a third identity? She's a cosplayer as well? Yeah, she's a famous cosplayer, is what I was thinking. Or maybe she was a toy artisan who made life-size weapons. Or maybe she was an otaku who collected swords like this. Just as a sword otaku. You know, reminds me of another person who really likes swords. In fact, he might be considered, someone who made unlimited, works of them. Anyway. I am the bone of my sword. Either way, I felt like a bad idea to mention it. Best to just ignore it. Best to pretend I never saw it. Triga on.
宮代
え
その件が気になるのか
Kunasato brought it up, and I was trying my hardest to ignore it.
いや、別に。
I tried my best to laugh and avoid looking at it. Kunasato must have sensed what I was doing because she dropped the subject instead.
やはりお前こそが真のアウグルなんだな
True Agur. Okay. I think this is just made up. Obviously, this is a positive delusion, so this is just made up. She whispered. What's going on? Why has she brought us here? You are the chosen ones. The window started to rattle. It must have been the wind. The only things I could see outside the window were the streetlights shining in the darkness. For some reason, I felt very anxious. And then it came without warning. There was a huge crash as the window shattered. A black ball landed in the center of the room. A black ball, you say? Reminds you of a manga.
なんだ
捕らえましたよ
Oh,
黒里美代
okay. So apparently she crashed through the window. Somehow. It was a tiny girl with glasses. I knew her face. She was the girl we seen at AH Tokyo General Hospital.
つけられていたか
見つけたからには皆さんの命はありません平等にエゼクさんをします
Okay.
宮代さんあなたもです
For some reason, I didn't sound very worried. I was having trouble keeping up with this situation.
トク
Sarika was clinging to me, a little afraid. It was rare to see her look like that way, or it was rare to see her look like that way. I don't know. I don't know why I'm reading that sentence weird. Normally, she was optimistic and easygoing. As a man here, I need to protect her. My name is Emiyashiro, and
私は風使い人呼んでウィーゼルサイス
Weasel Science, yes. Suddenly became a shonen anime. That translated to
イタチ
I saw that her nails were shining emerald green. Did she paint them with luminescent paint?
セブンスのプラーガが出張ってくるとはなだが分かっているのかここはセロパライズだぞ力を使えばどうなるか
Amazing. I mean, this could have been it could have went to this direction, I guess. Became a
で
shonen.
はありません我が使命はただ一つ計画の障害を取り除くことだけですから
させるか
Kunasato reached for her blade, but before she could,
可視化せよ我が風
a burst of wind blew through the room. The wind shone emerald green.
切り裂け
島
Oh. The emerald wind surrounded Kunasato's body. Her clothes were torn apart. Oh, okay. That what we're leading to? That what this is about? It's a very elaborate way to set up a fan service scene. Not just her clothes, her beautiful skin and long black hair were ripped apart by invisible blades. Red blood flew through the air. Oh, well, she's injured. That's no good. I thought it was a positive delusion.
なんだよ。なんだよこれ。
Kunosato fell to the ground covered in blood. Her hand had just managed to grab the blade, but she couldn't fight like that. Kunosato was going to die. Oh no. But all I could do was stand there and watch, like a typical, male protagonist in an action anime that has a harem. Usually they just stand there and do nothing. If I interfered, I would meet the same fate. I would be executioned, or execution? How you say that? Executioned.
オーガナイザー側のアウグルも質が落ちたものですね。久野里美代、あなた程度で私を止められるとでも？
She doesn't seem naked here. I mean, it was described that all her clothes had fallen off. I guess not. Kunosato gritted her teeth and staggered to her feet using their sword as a support. That's crazy. You can't do anything like that. She'll just kill you.
Mia, Shira.
We must mana transfer. Right now. With the last of her strength, Kunosato offered me her sword. Okay.
剣を取れ。私には使いこなせなかったが。
Okay.
お前なら、お前だからこそ真の力を引き出せる。
All you do is, raise the sword and make it glow, and then you yell out, Excalibur!
成層圏グラジオラスはお前のためにカオスチャイルドのためにある剣なんだから。
The Chaos Child! That's hilarious. If this story was really like this, I would delete the game. But this is not the real story.
ためにある。
It's just silly parody. My name was the Chaos Child. Kurosato pushed it into my hands, her arms strong, but not strong enough that she was forcing me to take it. In the end,
八代拓
we were the Chaos Child.
戦え
Fight? Me?
戦え。でないとみんな死ぬ。
And then Kunosato collapsed into my arms, dramatically. I grabbed her and suddenly my hands were slick with red blood. She'd always been so intimidating that I thought she was much taller than me, but her body was so frail and so light. She was just a girl too, okay, Mishiro. And she fought so hard until she ended up like this. It just reminds me of Fate Stay Night, the Fate route, oh god. I had to do it. I didn't know what was going on, but if I didn't stop her, not only Kunosato's life, or my life, but Sarika and Ito's lives would be in danger as well. I would have to protect everyone. There's even an evil loli trying to murder everyone. It's just Fate Stay Night. I set Kunosato on the ground, and motioned to Sarika and Ito to step back. I gripped the sword I'd been given tightly. Then I turned to face the girl in the glasses, Weasel Sight.
話は終わりましたか、カオスチャイルド。
I glared at her silently.
あなたがその剣を取るというのなら、ウィーゼルサイズの名にかけて容赦しません。真の覚醒へと至る前に、今ここでエゼクサンをします。
I didn't know what to expect, but if I didn't fight, I would die. I had to fight. Tatakao, or Tatakai? I steeled myself and took a step toward Weasel's scythe. The scythe? Yeah, scythe. Okay, and huh? You're in your last year of high school. What the hell are you thinking? You're turning into a chunibyo. That's another visual novel. Sure, any Japanese boy who grew up on manga could fantasize about something like that, but It was all tropes and cliches. Ironic, because this visual novel is also full of tropes and cliches, but I guess we'll see. If it hadn't gotten launched in a magazine, it would have been cancelled after 10 weeks. I blamed the sword that was just sitting there in the corner. Any boy who saw that sword will remember his dark history. Anyway, there was no time to be thinking about that sword.
K さん、俺マジファンなんす。声聞いてるだけで超癒されるっつうか。
そんなことはどうでもいい。
As I sat there fantasizing, Kunasato was tearing apart Ito's hopes and dreams. He was having a bad time.
それよりお前。お前だ、宮代拓。いちいち聞き返すな。
はい。なんでしょう。
Crap, she was really scary. Was the K that I loved only an image that I create for myself? I mean, yes, that's how it works. I mean, that's how it works with any kind of celebrity, right? They like show one part of them to the public, and and usually it's just it's an honest part of them, but it's only one side of them. It's the part that everyone sees, but it's not really the whole picture, I guess. And often, fans can be a little bit too obsessed with a certain image of the celebrity. And sometimes they put them on a pedestal, and ends up being a bad thing because they see them as like a god instead of like a person. Anyway, and was this girl who she really was? Kunasato stood by the wall and glared at me, oblivious to how I felt.
お前は何の能力者だ？
は？
Yeah, that's also what I was wondering. I don't know if Takaru is like if he's like put the puzzles or I don't know. I don't know if he has thought about this as well, but considering that Takaru has always had a weird reaction to sumo stickers, I can only assume that he also has like a psychic power of some sort. I mean, it's kind of a cliche, isn't it, as well? The protagonist having some sort of like power, like a chosen one, but no. It was so sudden that I didn't know what I'd been asked. Power? Who? Me?
さっき言ったろ。あの地下施設は今厳重に封鎖されている。ど素人がそんな簡単に入り込めるような場所じゃない。
それはたまたまですよ。なんか偶然とか重なってうまく入れただけです。
Coincidences. Again, I've been wow. I don't know. I'm gonna keep saying this, but I suspect Serika as well. Maybe Serika's the one with the power, not Takaru,
隠すな。お前はそれを能力でやってのけたんだ。
だから違います。
監視モニターがいきなり起動したのだってそうだ。
What was she talking? Yeah, well, okay. So we didn't like accidentally stumble upon the monitors? Someone used the power. I don't think it's Takaru though. We didn't. I mean, unless we're the game is lying to us. I don't think Takaru did anything to do those things. I think it's Serika, or it could be Shinji. I don't know. He's like, I never suspect Shinji, but maybe. I didn't have any kind of powers. And wait, Kei, I respected you, so try not to disappoint me so much.
大体何を根拠にそんなことは。
地下施設にお前たちが潜入しているのを見つけた時にな。お前かそっちの彼か。どちらかが能力者じゃないかと疑った。
Kunasato pointed at me and Ito in turn.
俺もすか？
ああ。だが、お前の方はその後、何の反応も示さなかったからな。除外した。
反応？
Too bad. Shinji's not important. He doesn't have special powers.
11番目のロールシャッハ画像を見た時の反応だよ。
Kunasato's deep dark eyes were peering into me.
だが宮代拓、あの画像を見た時、お前は激しく動揺した。
いや、だってあんな気色悪い絵ですよ。当たり前じゃないですか。
お前のはそういう反応とは全く違う。 あの画像を見たときにどう感じた？思い出してみろ。
Well, I like daydreamed about you eating my brain is strangely sexual. Anyway, the feeling I experienced when I seen the sumo sticker image came back to me. When I looked at it, all the hairs of my body stood on end, and I was attacked by nightmarish delusions from which there was no escape. It was so scary I couldn't help but look away from it.
じゃあ身の潔白を証明するためにもう一度見てみるか？あの画像を。
Oh man, she's I don't know. I don't know how to describe Mio. I kind of like her. She's very extreme, I guess. Very much a go-getter. Anyway, Kurosato turned toward her computer and opened a folder. She watched my face carefully as she moved to click on an image inside the folder.
嫌です。やめてください。
I slowly sank to the floor and sat down, sweat pouring from my body. I looked away from the computer. I didn't have the courage to look at that image right now.
いい加減にしてください。
Serica interrupted with a yell. It was the first time in ages I heard her yell. Yeah, well, I was wondering, like, if Serica also has powers, though. That's my theory. That Serica has some sort of, like, lock opening power. How did she react to the sumo stickers? I guess we didn't really touch upon that because we also collapsed from it, so we can't tell. It seems like she doesn't want to see the stickers, or at least she's trying to protect Takaru, but I don't know. I looked up to see her standing between me and Kunosato with her hands on her hips.
一体何なんですか？特に超能力ってそんなアニメや漫画みたいな話真面目にしてどうかしてますよ。
Like this is an anime or something? I mean, totally not. I mean, visual novels are not technically anime, but you know, it's anime. This is anime.
Nani?
It's totally anime. It's very ironic. She's saying this isn't an anime when it is.
尾上。
タクは人が殺された場所とかでいっぱいあのシールを見てきてるんです。気持ちが悪くなるの当たり前じゃないですか。
Yeah, oh, okay. So, I mean, Serica's making sense. That makes sense. I didn't think about that.
ラブホの時のことを思い出して吐いちゃいそうになることありますけど。
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I was assuming that Takaru is just has special powers too, because he was reacting to the Lev and Rorschach image. But it can also mean that it's just PTSD, you know, because he has seen people die and associated them with the sumo stickers. So I don't know. Either Serica's like completely right, or maybe she's deflecting. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still suspecting her. Not completely off the hook.
くだらないことが証拠だって言うなら、私にだって超能力があるってことになりますよね。
I mean, maybe.
いや、お前は違う。
She's not? Oh, okay. There goes my theory. Just throw out the window. Serica pushed harder. When she thought I was in trouble, sometimes she would turn into a totally different person. She would try to protect me in a different way than Kurusu. It made me happy, and it made me feel better, but...
尾上、ありがとう。けど、ちょっとだけ抑えてくれ。
でも。
いいから、本当にサンキューな。
There's no way I had any kind of psychic power. But I already suspected that powers like that were involved in this case somehow. So I wanted to hear what Kunosato had to say. Kunosato. I say sometimes I feel like I say her name wrong. Kunosato looked at me for a moment, questioningly, and then sighed. And then she took out her phone and made a call. The person on the phone didn't seem very happy about it, but they eventually gave their approval. She nodded and hung up the phone and then spoke.
また出かけるぞ。まあ、今度は命の危険はないだろう。安心するがいい。
Okay.
も。こんな時間によう来たの。まだ閉店時間までは間があるゆえ、ゆるりと過ごしてゆくがよい。
All right. Back to Renge's place, I guess. Back at the cafe.